Okay, are you ready for 5.5? Yeah. Is that? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, so if I have 1/2 plus 3/4, can I add these? Yes, I have to have a common denominator, right? Denominators have to be the same. So I can't add them, I have to do something to them first. What would my common denominator be between these two numbers? Right, so if I'm looking at 2 and 4, you like to go with the bigger number as your common denominator. So 4 will be my common denominator. So this is already good, right? That 3/4, I don't have to touch it. What number do I have to multiply 2 by to get to 4? Okay, do I multiply just the bottom by 2? I have to multiply the top 2, because 1/4 is not the same thing as 1/2. So you have to keep this the same ratio. So once I do that multiplication, I get 2/4 plus 3/4. Then I can add, right?
Yep.
You get 5/4. I always want to see if I can simplify. In this case, I can't, so I'm good. I just can leave it as 5/4. Do you guys remember finding common denominators and adding fractions?
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with subtraction. We have to find common denominators, right? Let me give you this example. Okay, what about this? Stepping up just a tiny bit. Remember, you did fractions like this in like 7th grade or earlier. So this is a good example to take you into doing some stuff with a variable. Yes. Go ahead, sorry. So we want to think about what would a common denominator here be between 7x and 14. Can I get, do I want to divide this down? I mean,
Why wouldn't you? When you have 7?
There we go.
go.
This, yeah, I don't want you to be able to simplify that, sorry.
That was so easy.
I know, I'm sorry, I don't want you to be able to simplify that. So I can't take this down to 7.
And bring this up to 14.
Yes, I have to bring the 7 up to 14 by multiplying top and bottom by 2.
So it's 2/14.
Good.
If you can simplify.
Isn't there something else I'm missing though? Yeah, the x.
You have to put the x on top 14 too.
So I have to multiply this side by x. So notice I'm figuring out what each one of these denominators is missing, and I'm making sure that I add that in or multiply that on somehow. Are you still with me? Okay, so now when I multiply this out, I should have a common denominator. If I don't, I did something horribly wrong. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 7x. Good. 3 times x. 14 times x. 14x. Common denominator? Jam. Okay, so adding your numerator now, because we don't add denominators, right?
Yep.
I do.
No, like, I'm
Right.
trying to disagree
Oh,
on.
you keep it the same. So it's still gonna be that common denominator of 14x. 2 plus 3x, I can't add those, so it's just 3x plus 2. I always want to try to check myself to see if I can simplify. Can I simplify if it's in this kind of a form? Why not?
It's not like.
Yes, the addition sign, right? If there's addition in between, I can't cancel. If it's multiplication in between, I can. So I could try to factor this. Is 14x factorable?
14x factorable. No.
No. Is 3x plus 2 factorable?
No.
No, because when I think about factors of 3 and 2, they don't have any of the same except 1. So because I can't factor this to get 2 terms multiplied together to cancel out, this is the most simplified form. So that would be your final answer. Is that kind of making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. I did not do that second example with first hour, and I wish I had, because I skipped to this next one, and I think I confused them all a little bit. I want you to do,
You know what's so annoying? I went to the dentist at 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm still not.
that's very annoying.
No, it's not so long. He told me after, it's gonna be 1 to 2 more hours, and it's been like 2.5.
I had there was a dentist that told me he had a patient numb for 14 hours. And I was like, you gave him that shot wrong. That's not good.
Dude, before the last time I went to the dentist, I had a stupid cavity and annoying. So like they gave me like 1 shot, so like it didn't numb my teeth. So like,
Oh,
and I didn't want to say anything because I was like,
oh no, you say something.
no, I didn't though.
Oh,
And it
you
just like,
have to.
it just like hurt so
No,
bad.
you gotta say
I was
something.
going to, but then I didn't, and then I just finished because it was almost done. But I was like,
That's the worst. Okay, how can I add this? Do I have to do anything first? No, I don't. It already has a common denominator. So what I'm gonna do is add straight across. I have 2x squared plus 2. Those are not like terms, so we keep them separate. I already magically had this beautiful common denominator of x squared plus 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that same. I don't have to do anything to that. But can I simplify?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I can, yeah,
So on the bottom, the denominator, you have 2x squared.
good.
So why does it not add up to 2x squared?
you know.
Good, right, because we don't want to add denominators.
Oh,
Just, right, just like we had 2/4 plus 3/4, we keep it as a 4 in the denominator. Good question. Okay, so I want you to first factor just your numerator. Okay, sometimes if we factor too much at once, we miss the common factor. So how could I factor this numerator? Or the stuff on top? Good, they both have a
Square.
2 in common. If I take 2 out of 2x squared, what's left over?
X squared.
Good, x squared. 2 out of 2?
No.
Nothing, because it cancels down to 1. Good. My denominator right now is still x squared plus 1. Okay. Yes, now I can cancel, but why? What operations happen in between the 2? The 2 and the parentheses. Multiplication. When you have multiplication in between terms, then you can say, woohoo, those totally cancel. Leaving me with, 2 times 1 or just 2. All right. How you feel?
Okay.
Kind of getting it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna kick it up one more notch. This time, we will have to find common denominator. Okay, so giving you this example.
Yep.
Common denominators?
Yes.
Are they
Not at
common?
all. Yeah, not at all.
Ain't this put those divide by 3x, make them negative?
Well, where's the 3x gonna go?
In the garbage.
Exactly.
You have to factor.
Where's it?
The garbage.
Woo! Say it louder,
You
Evan.
have to factor.
You have to factor.
You can-
Is 7 factorable?
No.
Okay, 9x squared factorable?
Yes.
No,
No.
sir. X?
No,
Nope. How can I factor this denominator?
3x.
Good, I'm gonna bring out a 3x, leaving me with what in this first term?
3x plus 1.
Good, and then plus 1. Okay, so now I wanna kind of compare my 2 denominators. When I'm looking at this side, I have 9x squared. When I'm looking at this side, I have a 3x.
Divide.
I can't divide, but I can multiply. So what do I have to multiply this 3x by to get to 9x squared?
3x.
3x, and it goes just on bottom? Nope, on top, bottom and top. So once I do that, what's that gonna look like over here?
Good.
X times 3x over,
9x squared, x plus 1.
good. So difference between this one and that one. What's this one missing now? Good, I'm missing this x plus 1. Can I just multiply that on? On top and on bottom. I'm multiplying that on. Oh, I forgot the one here. So you multiply x plus 1 on top and on bottom. First thing I'm gonna have us do is just shove them together. Notice up top, I did not combine the x and the 3x yet.
I noticed
I wanna see if there's any factors we have before I multiply out.
X.
So 7 times x plus 1 over 9x squared times x plus 1. So when I go to totally add these together, I add 7x plus 1 plus x, 3x, all over that common denominator of 9x squared plus x plus 1. Times x plus 1, sorry. So I have something that makes me really, really want to cancel with it. Can I cancel though? I really want to cancel this with that. Can I though? Good, because this, I do have multiplication here and here, but I still have this pesky little addition sign, which says, I cannot cancel any of that. I would love to cancel part of this 9x with that 3x squared and this x plus 1 with that x plus 1, but it's not gonna happen. So you can do one of two things. This answer is gonna be okay with me, because I can still see your work and I'm fine with that. You could distribute this back out and say that this is what you would get. So this answer or this answer is okay. Some people are like driven nuts by leaving something with multiplication still hanging and like not simplifying it out. So if that's you, you can multiply this out and get this answer and leave it like that. If you can see from here, like this is not gonna end up being able to cancel anything, you're fine with just leaving it in that kind of nastier state. Does that make sense? Okay, questions? Are you okay, Ellen? You look at this problem like you want to kill it.
Why are pineapple brown?
Why are they not?
Because like when you cut it, it's what you hear goes.
Oh, of course it'd be easier.
That's what I
What
thought.
grows in the cube?
I cut pineapple. I like just cut the top off, put the bottom off, and then so.
See, I can't buy a whole pineapple, so I eat the whole thing, and then I'll just get a horrible mouth.
I
It's
divide
okay.
This guy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it too much. Like, you can't cut one open and not eat the whole thing. In what? No, that's
Thank God.
disgusting. That's disgusting. That's warm and gross.
I don't think it tastes gross, but it's just like a weird.
The texture and like everything is super weird with it. Okay, let me find the next one I want you to do. Let me find you an in-between one here.
Can't agree.
Oh, here's a good one. Okay, I like this one.
I can't eat it, literally.
I want you to try setting this one up. So I don't need you to do the adding portion or subtracting portion yet, but I want you to try to set this up to see if you can find a common denominator. That's gonna be the hardest part so far. Okay, so see if you can figure out what's missing. And then add each, or multiply each portion onto each side that needs it. Again, finding common denominators first. We'll go through this kind of part by part with you. I'm just darkening this in, so I'm using the crappy marker at first.
How far is cold water Missouri?
How far is what?
Depends on what side of Missouri it's on.
It's a long drive, but don't do it.
For what?
I wanna get a different car. Because gas is so expensive now, and my truck takes so much gas.
Hours, 49 minutes.
How expensive is gas?
It's like $2.59. And it's
When I was going to community college, I was paying 30 a gallon.
What?
Yeah. and it's
Yeah,
gonna
when
go-
I was
it's gonna
like
go
in
back
high
up to that,
school and
too.
that, it
So it's
was,
annoying.
yeah, you remember it. It got and like, so this, like this summer when it
My
got,
truck's a
kept
35
coming
gallon
down,
tank,
like,
too.
what's that?
My truck's a 35 gallon tank. So like to fill it, it's like, if it goes to $5, it's $175 to fill it.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. I know, and it probably gets rid of it 4 times as fast.
Easy.
I put $40 in there every week and it's gone. My price.
I'm not kidding, I was spending well over 200 every week and a half. Like when I was going to community college, I had a Buick that had a pretty decent sized tank, but I would have to fill it like every couple of days, basically.
Mine, I feel like.
Like it was ridiculous. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so I'm getting a car.
I'd say I spent 400 a month on gas when I was going to community college.
I think 11 miles per gallon.
All right, what was your common denominator? What are we missing over here? We're technically just missing a -4, but if I multiply down a -4 and a -4, is that gonna get me to 5x minus 4?
Yes. No.
It'll be -20x. So we have to take an additional step and say, actually, we're missing that whole term. We would love to use this x as part of it, but we can't because we can't subtract something off of it. So you have to multiply an entire x minus 4 onto here, right? Top and on bottom. So now, if I multiply this out, now what's this side missing?
B, X.
Yes, it's missing an x. So if I multiply top and bottom by x, I'd be able to get that x on there, right? So we go 12x over 5x times x minus 4. Common denominator. Cha-ching. So now let's go ahead and subtract. So we can have x minus 4 times x minus 4 minus 12x all over 5x, x minus 4. Okay, so right now, is anything gonna be able to cancel? Yeah, I have that minus sign in between. But I'm kind of hopeful that maybe I'd be able to get something to cancel. So I'm gonna take this leap of faith and go a couple extra steps here.
Oh, no.
So what I'm thinking is that I just don't have the right things factored. If I distributed and refactored, I might be able to cancel some stuff out. So I need you to distribute your numerator and distribute your denominator. What do I mean by that? I thought it was the actual bell. X times x times -4, which gives me x squared minus 4x. Sorry, I'm bringing it down over here because I'm running out of room. Right? X times x times -4. But then I still have to do -4 times x, -4 times 4. -4 times x is -4x. The -4 times -4 is positive 16. I'm done with my distribution. What's that last thing left out there that I still have to subtract? That -12x. Okay, let's go denominator. You just have to multiply your entire 5x by x and by -4. Giving me 5x squared minus 20x. So now, let's combine some like terms. There's no other x squareds, so that stays the same. -4x plus -4x plus -12x. Anybody? Yes, you do. -20x. What's that?
Oh, yeah, you
Oh, Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Dentist stuff.
Last little 16s left behind,
Have those first.
all over this denominator.
Version.
What?
Yeah.
5x squared minus 20x.
And you cancel.
Right, we can't cancel our 20x's because there's subtraction in addition in between. So here's the test. Is your numerator factorable?
Numerator
Meaning,
factorable.
Is there two things that multiply to negative 16, but add to negative 20?
No.
So let's think
No,
about
there's-
factors of 16.
There's no way that can happen.
1 and 16,
Oh.
4 and 4,
Actually, and then that's-
2 and 8.
No,
So neither of those are gonna work.
no,
So is this factorable?
Nope.
So is it simplifiable?
no.
Nice, final answer.
Oh my
I
God,
didn't
answers are terrible.
They're kind of gross. How you feeling? A little bit confused?
If you make us do one on our own, I'm going to drop
I won't make you do it today. I will not make you do it on your own
No,
today.
I-
Okay, that is gonna be all for today's section.